I really appreciate all of you doing this.
Yeah, how hard do you want us to go on?
No
Nick?
problem.
This
Well, I felt bad for you, so.
Look at Nick Pizzuti.
What?
You in a Holiday Inn?
Come on, a Holiday Inn would be too nice for Nick. He'd get the crust.
These are my living conditions.
He is at a
We got a mask.
motel.
I live in the cleaning room.
Getting drunk and working on his memoir.
Dang it, I want to smoke inside.
Nick, you look like a fugitive from justice.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like he's going through his third divorce.
The roast of Nick Pizzuti now.
It looks like my last boyfriend. No wonder I'm gay.
Ouch.
Oh. Christine, you actually had a boyfriend? You actually dated guys at one point?
One time.
Never again.
Again.
All right. We're going to go live, and then Nick will start us out.
Good luck, Nick.
Hey, oh,
Well, we're not live yet.
Okay.
don't fuck this up.
Yep.
Recording
Good
this?
job.
I'm recording, yeah.
Steve, is he allowed to record all of us?
You want me to give it a clap for sound?
And action.
I thought Steve was just a patent attorney.
Steve.
Yeah, I
Plenty of law. There he is.
know more law than that.
Yes.
Look at all the folders behind him.
Yes.
Old cases.
Every one of those contains a law.
No, they
Those
contain
are
a lot of
cold
patents. No laws.
Barb Moss
My
hasn't moved.
Jason has a duck behind
Justin
him.
looks like he has the same decorator. What's behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Don't worry, Justin. I have some Harry Potter jokes.
Well, everybody's falling apart nicely during this thing, so that's good.
The kind of yellow he pulled out his mouth with. What color is this? Yellow.
Are we live on Facebook?
We are live on Facebook.
This one dude used to say we're live in 5.
That's yellow. That's actually gold. That's green.
Not that cool.
It's pretty green. It's pretty green.
Who can see who, though?
Nick, you ready?
I got
All right. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children, I'm assuming, dogs, cats, goldfish, government agents, douchebags listening in. Welcome to Rob's, and I kept reading the poster. I don't know about you guys, but 27th birthday? 27th, and then it said birthday.
27th of the month.
I know, I'm dumb. Welcome to Rob's 27th birthday roast. Yeah. Rob, I sure hope you brought your helmet tonight. I think you're in for a treat. I'm going to be the roast master, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little roast on Rob, and then I'm going to do an introduction and do a little roast for everybody as we go along. So, Rob Schneider. I don't know, you know, guys, if you know me, you know I love comedy, and I love the crowd, and I love hanging out with all you guys, and you guys are all really great. Rob is my best friend in comedy, so I'm assuming now that I'm single, after this whole quarantine thing, we'll probably be dating. So I thought of something, it's not clever at all. You see it all the time, like the fusions of people. And okay, so if you took Martin Mull and fused him with Peter Griffin, you'd get Rob Schneider. If you took Kelsey Grammer and fused him with Mick Foley, you'd get Rob Schneider. if you took a creepy college professor that rocks a beard, a Cosby sweater, khakis, and slippers, and fused him. What? Then you just have to fuse him. You were waiting on something else, I'm assuming. I came up with a list of top. Well, I got 3 reasons why Rob and I are really good friends. I've never looked so handsome by comparison. Rob has never seemed so approachable or not as awkward when he stands by me. Yeah. Rob is my favorite person to talk shit about people behind their back because he's kind of a nerd and I know it's not going to go anywhere. All right, Rob, you know I love you. I'm going to start it off here, and we're going to welcome to the stage the AWA Kool-Aid champion of the world, Mr. Jeremy Smith.
Hi. This is weird and uncomfortable. And yeah, I swore I wouldn't do Zoom comedy, and then I figured it's Rob's roast, so there probably won't be much of that. My comedy group in Kansas City actually gave Rob his first spot on a show, and so I sincerely apologize to all of you. We didn't pay him, so it doesn't really count. No, Rob is a good guy. I met Rob at a WrestleMania watch party, which is exactly where you'd expect 2 people to look like us. Makes perfect sense. Rob's a great guy. Terrible looking, just like me. Rob is like a computer amalgamation of every guy who's been caught by Chris Hansen. Put those all into a database. Like, how many pictures of your dick are on Neopets fan forums, Rob? Like, I'm just saying. No, Rob is good. He used to come on stage with a full notebook and like a music stand for all of his jokes. And people used to just ask me, like, how is he this bad if he cheats? Like, I don't get it. So I don't know if he still does that. But I'm assuming most of you are here as a favor to Rob since he's put you on his shows. And he's never been able to give me anything. So I don't really know why I'm here. No. Rob's a good guy. He's the only person I know who thinks moving from Kansas City to Detroit is an upward move. But yeah, it's this is super weird because I know none of you. So normally I would roast people, but it's kind of hard. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Rob, you're a great guy. Well, we miss you here. I can't get you on any shows, so don't ask me anymore. I can't even get myself on any shows right now, but I would love to see you come back and visit.
Cool.
All right. He doesn't have his speaker on, mic on yet.
This is Cosby.
Mark Sweetman, can you hear me, dude? You gotta turn your mic on. Come
Yeah, I'm
to
here.
the stage. Hi.
All right, is it me now?
Yeah, Bill Murray? Or is that Bill Murray? No, oh, I'm sorry. Mark Sweetman, go.
Yeah.
You're a go.
I'll go with Bill Murray. That's fine. I'll take that. Hello, Robert. Happy 27th birthday. You're looking good. You know, for a comic at 27. Anybody else at 27? Probably not. You look a little bit winded there, but you definitely look like a guy who came up in the era when we sniffed cocaine off the stripper's ass. So, congratulations for that. And the rest of you, I don't know who you are, but my children do. So that's a good thing. So. Robert's quickly become a good friend because I know him to be a hard and fast writer, which means he searches hard for those fast jokes. So the quick and easies are it for Rob, and he knows that if the choice between cultured or getting a big laugh, he'll take the big laugh, and that's what you have to do in comedy. Except in this era where laughs aren't really important, neither is the audience. So as long as you're seen, that's the important thing. So
Yeah.
it's almost like we all have the idea here that as long as all the other comics know we're doing comedy, then we're still comics. So there are no real audiences. The real audiences are doing things like teaching their children in homeschool. You know, they don't have time for this crap. So I got to meet Robert through Chili's Dojo, a course that I would highly recommend if Chili had not died 18 months ago. So it was a good way to get him known there. We found out we both had done time in Hollywood, which is interesting, which is where I think all the rest of the people in this group are headed. We've been there and got out. So, you know, we'll give you pointers once you get there on how to get out of there. So Robert is Robert runs shows in comic book stores, which I think is kind of interesting because I'm not sure, you know, you go to a bar and you tell a guy, hey, we'll help you out on an off night by getting some people in here, you know. Unfortunately for the bartenders, they never ask whether these people pay for drinks or not. So, and hopefully they're paying for the comic books. Otherwise, these comic book stores are really going to take a beating. So, but it makes sense. You're a stand-up comic. Robert said, hey, how about a comic book store, right? You know, it's and a lot of these people that go by what they call, they say they're improvisers. That gives you a lot of options if you're an improviser. The president, for example, right now is an improviser. So, you know, I mean, there's many different areas you can go into as an improviser. With stand-up comic, you're pretty much forced to stand up at a bar or a comic book store. So thank you for getting that into us for us, Robert. I've been to one of his shows. It's kind of interesting. It was in a strip mall, and a few people for the beauty salon came in, and a few people for the 7-Eleven came in, but for the most part, the people were there for the comedy, or the show anyway. Comedy was questionable. But we thank Robert for that. Robert is also doing an interview show, which I was very honored to be asked a part of until I found out I was number 17. I go, oh, this is really exclusive. I'm number 17. Now I look out there, they're like up to number 60 now. So it's getting worse all the time. So, but that was a fun little thing to do, and he posts that on Detroit Comics and Comedians group. I'd recommend that to all of you. That's really the only group, the only comedy page that has as many fans as it does comics on it. So we do a good job of keeping that, and so I'll give myself a plug for that. Other than that, I wish I knew all the rest of you. Let me take a look here. See if oh, I know Steve, and I know Jason, and that's it. I've heard of you. They must be doing something. So anyway, so this would be a much longer set if I knew you guys, because I could rip into you. But as far as that goes, happy birthday, Robert. I hope the next 27 are just as joyful for you. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, my wife says happy birthday too.
All right, let's give it up for Mark Sweetman. It's time for Mark. Coming to the stage next is one of it's probably the only girl in comedy that you can tell to take a hike, and she'd be kind of honored about it.
Oh, thank
welcome
you.
to the stage. Really funny, Ellie Schneider.
Thanks.
Hello.
Thank
Oh,
thank you
found
for having me, Rob. I can't wait to make you feel worse about yourself. All right, so my brain's a little fried because I fell asleep in the sun. So we're gonna see how this goes. All right. Rob looks like the kind of guy who you would say, "Hey, Rob, nice fedora," and then he would say, "Actually, it's a trilby." The only thing patchier than Rob's beard is his comedy resume. Rob looks like he's one adolescent traumatic brain injury away from his very own episode of To Catch a Predator.
Oh wow.
If one of those big shiny planes up in the sky needed space to come down and make an emergency landing, Rob's bald spot might be big enough. And most of the time, glasses make people look more distinguished. Most of the time. All right, bye, Rob. Happy birthday. I tried my best.
All right. Ellie Schneider, one more time.
I'm going on mute now because my air conditioner's loud.
Yeah, brag about air conditioning.
Right.
All right. Welcome to the bringing to the stage next. We have what appears to be a new age country star, Dustin Burwell.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it was my turn. That's excellent. So happy birthday, Robert. I begged you not to do this. Still went through with it. It's sick. So Robert has a YouTube series. It's called The Quarantine Check-In because wellness checkup is being used by the police. I would enjoy those episodes more if I wasn't positive he had just finished masturbating to sibling porn. Before he recorded them. I'm petitioning the state of Michigan to make Robert a registered sex offender. Not because he did anything wrong, but just because the idea of him having sex is generally offensive to me. Robert has been upset to be locked in his apartment and away from comedy and not doing it, but it's good practice for when you get caught exposing yourself at an open mic. So you're going to get blackballed for buddy. One day they're going to get you, these PC nerds. And then my last joke is, there's what just happened.
My bad. I'm sitting outside. That was me. That's me.
All right. It's good. Shut up. Now, Robert is very proud to be Jewish, and that's excellent. I'm very happy that he has something to be proud of. A big thing with Jewish culture is a movie called Sophie's Choice. If you don't know what Sophie's Choice is, it was a movie where Meryl Streep had to pick between one of her kids to give to the Nazis. If it was about Robert's mother, it would have been called Sophie's Request. Yeah, I do genuinely like you, Robert. It's been great getting to know you. I'd make fun of these other people. I think Nick's get busy tying off his arm to shoot some shit up right now. So I'll probably run it out just a little bit more. But I appreciate you having me and being a good friend, and I hope to see you soon, buddy. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hey, give it up for Dustin Burwell. Apparently I fucked that up because I didn't get the revised list. I just got the revised list, and I'm gonna try to get back on track here. My bad. Coming to the stage next, it strikes me as that you'd be really good at arts and craft. Welcome to the stage, Kelly Aja Ziminith. Yeah, I'm horrible.
It's close enough.
No, it wasn't.
No worries. It's a long one. It is a long one. Hi, everybody. It is really great to be here to celebrate the birthday of Jeff, the comic book store guy from The Simpsons. Woohoo! Yahoo! I just recently met Robert, so I don't actually know him that well. And just too hot to do much research. So I'm just gonna try to phone this one in as best as I can, guys. It's kind of a bold choice to invite a Canadian to a roast. Really, our thing, like our shtick, is apologizing. So I don't know. Maybe you have an apology fetish. I'm not aware, but yeah, I will do my best, guys. I will definitely do my best. I'm really not like down with going to parties for people I don't know. I always try to find, an excuse. But thanks to Corona and COVID and self-isolating, I can't. So I'm here. So fuck you, Corona. I could have been doing something else right now. I'm just kidding. There's nothing else I could be doing. Absolutely not. I am kind of excited though over the fact that, we're being invited to a party and I don't actually have to buy you anything. I fucking love that. No gifts. That is amazing. But then like the more I thought about it, we have to entertain you and perform for you. So this is actually more work, which is kind of sneaky. So that's not nice at all, Robert. It really isn't. I'd rather have bought you a candle you could blow out. Or blow. I mean, I don't know you that well. If you need that kind of thing. I'm not sure. I am not sure. I definitely feel just by the landscape I'm seeing tonight, I feel like I'm on a community access version of The Bachelor. So. That's great. No roads. I'm good. I am good, guys. just hang on to that one. I'm kind of miffed that actually, you know what? I might take a rose because like I'm kind of miffed that loot bags aren't a thing anymore for parties. I really do fucking miss that. I'm still mad that I don't get them anymore. So Robert, whatever you have, just send them at the mail. That would be great. I'd appreciate that a lot indeed. I was trying to figure out like, maybe something to associate with your birthday and, like maybe some, celebrities that we could give shout outs to. You definitely have some celebrities who share your birthday. They've all done way better than you have. So I'm not gonna, no point in beating a dead horse there. But yeah, they've gone on to way more illustrious careers than you. So why don't we move on to like maybe a special day, May 27th. We have random things like National Pizza Day and National Donut Day. Apparently, May 27th is National Sunscreen Day. Who gives a shit? We're all inside. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So fail on that one too there, buddy. But tomorrow is National Brisket Day. So if anyone's having a roast tomorrow, that sounds like fun. Brisket sounds pretty good. So I was like grappling, like what else could I associate with this birthday and Robert? And okay, special moments in history. What possibly happened on this day in history? 1907, on May 27th, this is when the bubonic plague emerged in San Francisco. So that's great. 1995, that's when Christopher Reeve fell off the horse. So Superman paralyzed. So that kind of sucks. And in 1998, on this date, Charlie Sheen went in for drug rehab. So get going, Robert. You picked a tough one to make good here. So, it's a little difficult. But I am very grateful, though, in all sincerity, the shows you put me on, it's just amazing. If we were in person, well, we don't have to think about that. I don't have to worry about asking on a date as a woman. That's a tough one sometimes in comedy. It is. It's a tough one. But I will say, keep doing what you're doing. But just like, buddy, improve your posture, man. I'm worried about your spine. Just position on that couch. Not look good. Yeah. That's all I got, guys. Have a great birthday, Robert. We'll see you soon.
All right, one more time for Kelly. Oh, I'm not gonna, what is it? How do you say your last name, anyway, Kelly?
My last name is Zemnikas. It's like movie director, but not.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, just curious. All right, coming to the stage next. I don't know about you, but hockey players creep me the fuck out. Justin O'Leary.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. I feel bad you had to get a room at the Ramada just to get Wi-Fi. No, this was a hard roast just because I didn't know a lot of the names. I didn't know if this was the roast of Robert Schneider or another one of his comic book shows. The last time this many unfunny people got together, they formed the Independent Comedy Club.
Oh.
Turn up the burner, eh? Who put this lineup together? Adam Walsh? Some kind of benefit show? Ellie Snyder's here, which makes me wonder who's eating trash with the possums. Steve Hansen's here. Steve Hansen's the guy sitting in front of all the folders that looks miserable. Good to see you, Steve.
Yeah, good to see you, porn stash.
Haven't seen you this happy in years, buddy.
Yeah.
Kevin Key's here. Kevin Key's a good guy. He's from the Ann Arbor scene. Love Kevin Key. His biggest comedy credit is hanging out with Brett Hayden 3 times.
Nice. Sweet.
2021 to actually have a conversation with him.
True, man. That's true.
Connor Mead's going after me. I love Connor. Plus, it's an honor to open for Roseanne.
I wish.
Dustin Burwell already went. Dustin Burwell's a good friend of mine. Dustin's actually Mexican. That's no joke. He just gave me $20 to tell all you guys. Would you believe that Dustin Burwell's 14 years old? No, you wouldn't. He looks like he's 54. Robert Schneider, happy birthday, buddy. Thanks for having me. You look great. You do. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Robert Schneider actually does CrossFit. I'm not sure where, but he probably. You look like, Robert, you look like if one of Tom Swan's neck tags did comedy.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Rest in peace.
Oh.
Robert, you look like you went to college and got into binge drinking. I said Chef Boyardee. Somebody laughed and fucked it up. Me and some other comedians go under a group called Heavy Hitters sometimes. Everybody relax. It's a fucking joke. Robert wanted in real bad, though. Robert wanted to join, but we wouldn't let him because we didn't want to rename the group to the Regional Heavy Breathers. All right, that's all I have. Thank you, guys.
Right. One time for Justin O'Leary. All right, coming to the stage next, we have the cutest badass I know. I envision her that video where she's cutting wood and she's got this cigarette, this dart dangling. Welcome to the stage, Connor Mead.
Oh, yeah. Shucks. Well, by the way, I didn't write anything for everything. Yeah, I haven't written shit for everybody, just Robert. So it's going to be a short one for me. But I just want to thank Robert right off the bat, for getting us all here to say mean things to each other and hear mean things during the most depressing moment of my life. It's gonna really help. Not only do I not get validation, but now I just have to feel worse. So thanks a lot for that. Anyways, I guess Robert kind of looks like Humpty Dumpty if he meant to jump off the wall. I always think it always surprises me when he said he was really into like the punk scene and went to a lot of punk shows, considering he looks like a disappointed father. It's never really made sense to me. Also, I'll never be more offended than the time someone thought I was the Nazi girl he fucked in his joke. That one hurt a lot.
Sweet.
Oh man, it was a low point for me. But what else? It's kind of shaped like a Russian nesting doll. but if you open them up, it's just his mommy problems. This is mom saying. This is his mom saying, I wish you were more like Humpty Dumpty. That one's silly. That one's for me. But I love Robert. He's hilarious. He's a great comic. We love having him at the Independent, especially hosting, because it's really good to like bring the room down between every comic. So everyone has to equally fight to get to win the crowd back over. It's great. Also, my last one, Robert is proof that being Jewish is enough to do comedy. That's really all you need. And you'll do pretty well. No, you're hilarious. I love you to death, Robert. And I appreciate it. This was fun. Thanks, guys. I'm done.
All right, one more time. Not me. All right, this guy looks like him and I should run some Dago restaurant together. Welcome to the show, Justin Sakura.
Karaka, yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh god, I gotta follow Justin O'Leary and counter me. That sucks. No, but anyway, happy birthday, Robert. I recall the first time Robert and I had contact. He sent me a Facebook message. It was his headshot, and it said, "I can do 10 to 15." And I had no idea if he meant stage time or jail time for child porn. But you know, Rob, I do gotta say, man, I do feel bad for you because you mentioned recently that you got laid off. And to be honest, that's probably the only type of laid you've gotten in the past 20 years. I mean, seriously, dude, look at you. You look like Jeffrey Dahmer if you ate the entire cast of The View. And speaking of eating, man, you mentioned that you don't eat pork because you're Jewish. And you know, they say the Jews are the chosen people, but taking one look at you, I would say it was the wrong choice. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Hitler chose to persecute the Jews after taking a time machine and seeing you. But you know, in all honesty, Robert, I don't actually believe you're Jewish because they say the Jews had money, and taking one look at your appearance kills that myth. I mean, seriously, dude, it looks like you suck dick for discount apparel behind the comic shop. I mean, I gotta ask you, Robert, why the hell do you always wear that stupid Flash t-shirt? You do realize it's not going to make you run away any faster when women catch you peering in their windows at night. No, but if I were you, dude, I wouldn't be too worried about spying on women because I'd say probably in about 30 or so pounds, you'll have your own boobs to ogle at. But like I said, man, I don't actually believe you're Jewish. I think you use being Jewish as an excuse to not go out on Saturday. You claim the Sabbath, but in reality, I don't think you have a life. And let's be honest too, man, you don't have any talent when it comes to comedy, dude. Your jokes are terrible. As a matter of fact, my least favorite joke of yours is your suicide one. It's not because it's in bad taste, but because you end up alive at the end of it. But you know, it is great to be in the presence of some real comedians here, like Nick Teneglia, Justin O'Leary, Steve Hansen, and Connor Mead. Connor, it was good to see you. You know, Connor was supposed to be on one of my shows a couple of years ago, but she told me that she didn't have a car and had trouble getting around. Well, Connor, if you want to know how to get around in a comedy scene, talk to Kara Karachi.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you think she's getting booked because of her comedic talent? No. As a matter of fact, I've heard it's easier to get Kara in bed than it is to catch COVID-19. But you know, at one point, Robert did tell me that his big plan was to eventually be on TV, and I think his only option is going to be if they bring him back To Catch a Predator.
Damn. It's the third To Catch a Predator.
In reality, Robert, I'm very happy that you had me here. I wish you a happy birthday. I couldn't be more honored to have you headline my next show, whenever that is. Hope everybody out there is doing well. That's my set. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Justin Sakirka. All right, coming to the stage next, we have, really funny. I want to make sure that he took his Metamucil. Welcome to the stage, Steve Hansen.
Oh, thank you, Slim Fast Jake LaMotta. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank Mark Sweetman for making me the second oldest comic here, and Bill Morrison for making me the second angriest. I appreciate that. See that EJ Watson is here. EJ's voice is so deep it made my balls drop. He calls Barry White a soprano. Speaking of sopranos, we have 3 Nicks who are Italian here. Nick Bizzuti, Nick Kelly, and Nick Tenaglia. Now we know how the mafia died. Nick Kelly really likes to play up being Italian. One time he wanted to record his set, so he asked me to wear a wire. Justin O'Leary, I loved you in every 70s porn movie ever made. You look great in 8mm. If you're wondering how Justin got that mustache, it's because his mom smoked during pregnancy. Jason Gilliran's here. He's more dedicated to comedy than any of you people. The man studied urology just to write dick jokes. Connor Mead's here, but I don't have any jokes about her because she can kick my ass. All right. And Jim Elliott's here, so I guess that means his wife let him. So turning to the guest of honor, Robert, happy birthday. Seeing your time traveling back to 27, that must be nice. Robert's a born leader. He can inspire 100 people to leave a comedy show. Robert likes doing his act at funerals because he knows at least one person won't walk out. Robert's Native American name is Awkward Longstairs. Robert's dad likes to break Jewish stereotypes by being bad with money. Robert likes to break them by not being funny. Robert's getting in touch with his Jewish roots. He's opening a gentleman's club called Gaza Strip. For 10 shekels, you get a lap dance and Robert tells you jokes. Another 10, you don't have to listen to the jokes. Last year, Robert performed his comedy in England. He did so well, they paid for his flight home. Robert's very skilled at social distancing. He's had to stay 500 feet away from schools for years. If you're wondering why Robert runs a comedy show in a comic store in Dearborn, it's because the restraining order doesn't go that far. If you're wondering why Robert runs a comedy show at an opera house in Adrian, it's because the restraining order doesn't go that far. That's a fun show. It starts at 8 p.m. and ends when the fat lady sings. When he was in high school, Robert had a failed suicide attempt. His mother was so upset she got him a tutor. One of Robert's favorite bands is Joy Division because their singer hung himself and got it right on the first take.
Oh my God.
In his act, Robert says, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And God says, "Yeah, but tell Schneider I'm not available." One time, Robert had sex with a woman in college. There's no joke. He just paid me $5 to say that. And actually, Robert's pretty good with women. One time, he convinced a woman to go home with him. And when they were in bed, he saw her swastika tattoo and found out she was a Nazi. When they finished, he asked her what it was like to know she had just had sex with a Jew. She said, "Almost as bad as being blind."
Fantastic.
Robert's ideal mate has a great sense of humor and wants a man who doesn't. It takes a second. All right. Robert's very aggressive about getting on shows. One time he threatened to do his act for me unless I booked him at Sullivan's. Robert's also very competitive and talks shit before comedy contests. His favorite comic is Muhammad Ali. All right, that one's for me and Sweetman. Screw you guys. All right, thanks a lot. Anyway, happy birthday, Robert. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, one more time for Steve Hansen. All right, coming to the, where are we? Oh, coming to the stage next. I got a special treat for this one right here. I'm not even going to say anything. Welcome to the stage, Nick Tenaglia.
Thank you. Duty, I'm just happy that you haven't had a seizure yet from all this changing of the screen. All right, Robert, I hope you're ready because I'm about to rip you apart, man.
Hold on, wait 1 second. I got to find you on here.
Oh, great.
Center square.
Paul
Paul Lind used to sit, Robert.
Rob, he's got long hair.
I look like the Indian woman.
Wow, why can't I find you? This other guy.
I'm the brother.
There you are.
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
All right, let's bring it.
Hey. All right, dude. Sorry about all this. You ready?
No.
Okay. Robert Schneider looks like the kind of guy that suggests we all play Ookie Cookie. Rob Schneider looks like a retired shot put. It also looks like the male version of Miss Trunchable. Robert's the kind of guy that when you find something you really want on Facebook Marketplace and then you look at the profile picture and it's Robert, you don't really want to buy it anymore. Robert looks like what I imagine Craig from Craigslist looks like. Robert, you recently posted a picture of yourself at a younger age and you were wearing these like circular glasses. I thought you looked a lot like Heavy Potter. If you were in a house in Harry Potter, it would be Huff and Puff. Robert walks like Ludo from the Labyrinth. Robert looks like Sloth from the Goonies after he got addicted to Baby Ruths. In all seriousness, Robert looks like the human version of gout. Robert looks like the human version of a movie theater floor. If sleep apnea was a person, it would be Robert Schneider.
Wow.
I don't know if it's just me, but does it always look like Robert's wearing a skin-colored yarmulke? Robert looks like the kind of guy that has a car full of stuff, like like old Mac. Robert eats sushi with a fork so he can take the chopsticks home and jerk off with them. The most fucked up about all of this is that if Robert were to kill himself after this roast, even Noah Chap wouldn't have sex with him. Robert looks like the kind of guy that eats food that he busses from a table. Rob Schneider is one of the few people I know that owns a pocket pussy. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Robert Schneider is one of the only people that I know that fucks a pocket pussy that fits in his pocket. Robert Schneider is the face that I see when I'm afraid I'm being catfished. Robert Schneider looks like the kind of guy that puts pineapple on pizza and then fucks the pizza. My little brother's favorite comedian is Robert, actually, and it makes me wonder if I should kill my brother or myself. Robert is one brain injury away from being a Walmart greeter. Robert's using Corona as an excuse to share food with his cat. Robert does a lot of jokes about how he doesn't believe in God, which is understandable considering he has to look at Robert Schneider in the mirror every day. I didn't want to make too much fun about it because I didn't want to be a hypocrite because weirdly enough, the first time I saw Rob Schneider is also the first time I stopped believing in God. Anyway, please book me still. I love you, Robert. I think you're great, man. I can't wait to hear what you do at the end of all this. I'm sorry I didn't leave time to make fun of everyone else, but I don't want to lose more than one friend today. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, one more time for Nicholas Tenaglia. All right, coming to the stage next, looks like the bad guy or kid in every 80s movie that smokes cigarettes on the corner. Yeah, welcome to the stage, Kevin Key.
Thank you. Shout out to all the people roasting tonight. Connor Mead, I see that you showed up. That's awesome. Shit, I wish that didn't happen. Some people said that you're not funny, and just don't listen to them because they're just jealous and petty and right. But you don't need to listen to them because that's probably not the truth. Justin O'Leary is here. Justin has become a big name on TikTok. Justin's congratulations on figuring out why to entertain kids on the internet legally. Your parents are proud for once. All right, cool. Ellie, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Cool. I'm glad you're here. You're like one of the top 5 comedians on this roast. So thanks for showing up.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's just a nice thing to say. I don't know.
I was waiting for the mean thing to come.
If Nicholas Tenaglia looks confused and sad and high, it's probably because he is.
Yeah.
Dustin Burwell, some people have called you creepy and not funny and secretly poor. So just so you know what people say about you when you're not around. I'm scared to say this next one, so I apologize in advance. But EJ Watson sounds like a whiskey I drink until I can't walk right. I love you, dude. All right. Jim Elliott, thanks for taking tonight off of White Castle to be here with us. That's really important to everybody. The only reason we're roasting Rob tonight is because Jews don't eat pork. So Rob was a good substitute for it. Did my homework the best I could. Bear with me here. Rob is a nice guy who's never had a sex scandal or sex. I mean, the only scandal that would break out with Rob is if somebody wanted to sleep their way to the bottom. That's the only way I can see that happening. If everybody didn't know, he's single. I didn't research that. I'm just assuming. It's because Rob is so egotistical. His favorite form of role play is called Cops and Robert. It's just where people dress up like cops, handcuff him, and feed him donuts until he comes. Robert is so used to losing, they coined a phrase after his name. You know, you got robbed. That's it. That's all I have. Thank you, everybody, for letting me talk.
All right. One more time for Kevin Key. All right. I've been trying to do a bad impression of him all night long by smoking cigarettes and saying shit like, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage, Jason Spitzenbergen.
Yeah.
Hello, hey everybody, hey. Give it up for your roast master Nick Pizzuti. He's a great. Nick. I don't know if you guys know, but Nick has a lot of health problems. Like Nick's body is so fucked up that that COVID wears a mask around him. But if he did get COVID, the other diseases in his body would just beat the shit out of it for wandering onto their territory. And let's see, we got Connor Mead. I think she's here. I don't know. She might have left, but she really impresses me. Like she somehow simultaneously pulls off a look of, I don't give a fuck what you think, and please love me. So I don't know how she does that, but it works. Let's see, we got Jason Gillerin is here. As you guys know, he's a urologist, so he spends like all of his workday with dicks. So it makes sense that he become a stand-up comic because Now he spends all his evening just with a bunch of dicks. So, and in fact, last week at the nightcap, his wife was there with him. And oh, by the way, the nightcap, that's Friday nights. It's a show. I just got to get a shameless plug in there really quickly. Anybody wants time on Fridays, give me a message. Anyway, but Jason's wife, Robin, last week referred to me as the Jason she doesn't have sex with. And I have to say, like, I haven't heard such remorse in someone's voice since Tom Hanks let Wilson float away. Let's see, we got, who else is here? Nick Kelly's here. Nick, I've never really understood this. You grew up in Michigan, you grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, but for some reason you sound like a guy who sells pizza on the street of Brooklyn. It's not even like authentic New York pizza, it's just fucking DiGiorno's. But then there's Rob. Rob, happy birthday, man! Thank you so much for having me on this. It's really an honor. I'm so glad to be here. I've known Rob for like 2.5 years now. I've watched him grow as a comic. He's always been a great writer, but when he used to do this thing on stage where he had this like really deadpan, like stiff persona when he was on stage, but eventually he changed it up a little bit, got a little more loose. That's right. The version you see now is the more relaxed, relatable Robert. So just figure that one out. Robert has mentioned in his material that he's bisexual, which really just means that he's attracted to twice the number of people who won't fuck him. But he's never hit on me, which really just means not only is he desperate, but he also has bad taste. I mean, look at me. Come on. Let's see. What else do I have? I have a couple more. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, okay, Rob, one thing I have to know. I have to ask you this. What is it like being Adam Sandler's third funniest sidekick? Oh, wait, no, shit. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't for you. That was next week. Next week, I'm roasting the famous Rob Schneider. Because I obviously you guys know Rob does share his name with a famous comedian, Rob Schneider, and people have told Robert that he should use a stage name, to clear up the confusion, but he's always resisted it. Except until now, he actually recently told me that once COVID is over, he's finally going to start using a stage name. He's going to start performing as David Spade. All right, that's all I got for now. Thank you guys so much. Robert, happy birthday. Thanks again, man.
Thank you.
All right, give it one more time with Jason Spitzenbergen. Yeah, I love saying that last name. Probably, okay, coming to the stage next, probably, I guess, the classiest amongst us, which don't take that as a compliment. Welcome to the stage, Amanda Marie.
All right, so I've done some stand-up with Robert, and he invited me to do stand-up at a comic book shop, and it took me about a year to realize that he actually wasn't an employee there and had a real job. But don't worry, it took me 2 years to realize that Robert and Jason Brent weren't the same person, and that Robert actually just looks like a hungover version of Jason Brent. Over quarantine, I started to kind of miss Robert's set, so I started to volunteer at the suicide hotline so that I could kind of get my fill. I love it when Robert talks about his sexual encounter on stage, his one, and it's more so that he can have a positive affirmation that he has had sex before. And that he's not living out the 40-year-old virgin movie in real life. One time Robert told me that he had a crush in the audience, and I assumed that it was every woman over 25. Robert, I love you, buddy, but for some reason, anytime I want to say bye to you, I want to just say live long and prosper. I just assume you're a Trekkie. And then I assume that when I say that to you, you're going to tip your hat, your fedora back at me and say, "M'lady." Anyways, happy birthday. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right, give it up one more time for Amanda Marie. Coming to the stage next. Okay, so he's a penis and a dick doc. Okay. All right. Welcome to the stage, Jason Gilman.
Hey everybody, hi, how's it going? Thanks for having me, Robert. Thanks for having me. This has been great so far. A lot of people think that I met Robert through the Metro Detroit stand-up community. That's actually not true. It turns out that Robert was one of my patients at one time and came into my office for a problem. And since the statute of limitations has run out on it and he signed a waiver, I get to now divulge to everybody here how that doctor's visit went down. First of all, I just want to make sure that nobody went down on each other in this visit, okay? Let me make that clear, all right? First thing I recall about when I walked in the room to see Robert was he was making this face. He was like, and I didn't know what the hell that was about. It was some sort of a wincing thing. I wasn't sure. Still don't know what the hell that was about at all. He gave me some vague reason why he was coming to see me, and he was really embarrassed. So he just wrote on the note that he was there for man problems. When I asked him what kind of man problems, he said he had gynecomastia, which means he meant he had man boobs. And he said something about his chest started to look like Rogue. I didn't know what that meant until he told me that was an X-Men character who had big boobs. He also told me that he had genital warts, but that he obtained them legally, not those shitty black market ones. Yeah. I asked him if he'd had any surgeries in the past, and for some reason then he referred to himself in the third person as 13-year-old Robert, and then stating he had some sort of a procedure done by a priest. Turns out it was an exorcism, but it was also the only exercise he's ever gotten. I asked him if he ever had any sexually transmitted diseases before, and he said he thinks he might have gotten herpes from this Nazi chick that he slept with in college, or it was the priest. He wasn't really sure about that one either. I asked him if he had any new recent sexual partners, and he said yes, he met this woman through the freeway overpass banner. Apparently, based on the banner's message, she was easy, so he was looking for some more genital awards from her, I think. But at this point in the visit, he was getting really distraught. I said, hey man, listen, don't hang yourself about this, all right? Then he said something about a Boy Scout merit badge, and I kind of tuned him out at that point. Well, when all was said and done, and by done I mean I had to look at his penis with a pair of Coke bottle thick glasses that I keep for just in such an occasion. I had to fondle his low-hanging fruit. And at that point, then I did a prostate exam on him that left both of us short of breath in a non-sexual way. He asked me, how often does he need to get a prostate exam? I told him once a year. He said, okay, I'll be back next week. So I gave him some penicillin and some expired ointment at this point. And then I told him, listen, those weren't genital warts I saw down there. That was a piece of Nerds candy that was stuck to the shaft of your penis. Blended in very nicely. I also told him, don't dip your Nerds candy in estrogen cream anymore, and that'll take care of the man boobs. He told me he was kind of proud of his man boobs, to be honest with you. He said, my boobs, much like the Beatles, are bigger than Jesus. Then something he said, Robert 1, Jesus 0. Oh, no, wait, he said Robert 2, Jesus 0. And then as he was leaving the office, he made an appointment for next week to have another prostate exam, much to my chagrin. And then he refused to pay his bill, claiming something about his dad was bad with money. So, all right, thanks, Robert. Have a great birthday. Good seeing y'all. We'll hopefully be back together on some shows. And thanks, everybody. It's been a good time.
All right, one more time for Jason Gilman. Yeah. All right, coming to the stage next. I think his jokes, his Italian jokes, would be really funny if he changed his last name to Tenaglia or Prizzuti. Bringing to the stage, welcome Nick Kelly.
What up? What's up, Rob? Fuck you for making us do this, and I'm also honored at the same time. I noticed you didn't say how old you were on any of the flyers or anything, which is super gay. And I don't know. Well, Tenaglia was up earlier, but if he's here, who's scaring the crows away from the crops? Is what I want to know. Tenaglia looks like he had to Spark Notes green eggs and ham because he thought it was a dense read. I love his hair, man. I really do. I love his hair. Don't ever cut it, man. Because Nick Tenaglia without his hair is kind of like EJ's podcast without me. It's just not as funny. Oh, Kara Carishi's here. That's good. You know, I was really looking forward to roasting you, but menopause beat me to it, huh? No, for real, you're very hot. Again, the menopause. Justin Pettick was supposed to be here, so I'm gonna pick the next fat Irishman. Bill Morrison's here. He looks like a leprechaun that's way too fucking easy to catch. Speaking of rainbows, Ellie Snyder's got to be on the spectrum, huh? You know, for real, she's one of my favorite comics to fall asleep to.
It's funny because it's true.
I guess it's not a roast if it's true then, huh? Steve Hansen, man, you got the vibe of like a girls basketball coach that deals blackjack at the casinos at night to pay for his opioid problem. Or like you kind of look like a Frankenstein that uses just for men's to me. Jason Gillerin, he's a urologist, and you know, people make fun of him for looking at dicks all day, but it's actually like a really impressive profession. But even more impressive is that his wife doesn't know that he's gay still. Yeah, no, come on, dude. You don't just stumble into that profession. You know what I'm saying? He was actually going to be a podiatrist, which is a foot doctor, but then he realized you don't get to touch dicks all day. Jason Spitzbergen's here. He's a real incel's incel, you know? He's yeah. I mean, if he doesn't jerk off with a belt around his neck, I have no faith in my observational skills at all. I guarantee that leather is, you know, free range cow. So anyways, he used to talk to me a lot about his problems with women and his relationship problems, which is a lot like Rob talking to me about having a bad hair day. It's like we both know there's not much there anyways. He runs Cabbage Patch Saloon, and I see Rob there a lot, and it's funny because Rob looks like a Cabbage Patch doll, you know? Just like a hyperextended butt cheek face. Yeah, no, man. Rob Schneider, the man of the hour, he tell me this ain't true. He looks like he farts when you tickle him, and that's for sure. He definitely, and he calls it a toot. His breath smells like a filter fish and ball sweat. No, but for real, Robert Schneider, I loved you in Deuce Bigalow, Male Jigglypuff. You look like Jigglypuff ate a matzo ball, bro. He's got a foot fetish. I don't know if any of you know. I'm sorry. He actually, it's a foot-long coney fetish. Okay. I don't know. He looks like a depressed Tweedledee ate Tweedledum. But he's real self-conscious. Every time he comes off stage, he comes up to me. He's like, I suck. And I'm like, for the last time, Rob, I'm not going to let you blow me. And also, you're a terrible comedian. He looks like James and the Giant Peach. I think that's it, man. Happy birthday, Rob.
Thank you.
All right, give it up one more time, Nick Kelly. How about that? Okay, this next person, if taught me anything, taught me that lesbian stories are not what I built them up to be in my head. Yeah. I shotgunned a beer and threw up on my girlfriend. She was pissed. Well, welcome to the stage, Christine Vidajewski.
I've never shotgun a beer and pissed on my girlfriend. I mean, it was the wife, but not the girlfriend. You know, a couple of weeks ago, me and Robert had this conversation about where we first met, and for the life of me, I couldn't remember. And God bless his heart, he's like, we met at the Blue Moose, and I'm like, I don't remember anything but that night except the moose knuckle. I think anyway, he wasn't important enough to remember anyway, so I don't. Whatever. No, it's great that we're all here celebrating Robert's birthday. What, you guys don't have anything better to do? No, he's cool. He's doing all these virtual open mics, which is really great. But how many of you actually met Robert? If you haven't, don't. He's such a positive person, and we don't need that in our lives. He's jobless, loveless, hopeless. I mean, what's he got left to lose but his weight? Zing! And this is where Robert will reply with, pork you! And I'll say, Jewish. Jesus died for my sins. For you, he just died. He was a woodworker that got nailed. You've never been nailed. Hey, Robert didn't just go to Farmington High School. He went to North Farmington. He's like the Bruce Walsh of West Beverly Hills 90210. No, wait, let me take that back. He's more like Nat, the guy that owned the Peach Pit. Yeah, we're bringing it back to the 90s. Bring it back to the 90s way before your dad spit in your mom's eye. And if you don't get that joke, it's way before your dad came in your mom's face. No, honestly, let's be honest. Robert Frank, I'm not ballpark Franks, but I don't like your Frank. I don't like your balls either. But I do remember you, Robert Schneider, and I do love you. Happy birthday, and I can't wait to see you. See you soon. Thank you, everybody.
All right, one more time for Christine Wojciechowski. About them. Coming to the stage next, asshole, because I asked her to hook me up with any of her single friends, and she said, I'll hook you up with Lucy, and it slipped my mind, and I forgot that was one of her characters. Next thing you know, Joel was knocking on my door. Fucking asshole. All right, welcome to the stage next, Kara Karachi.
Hey, hi there. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. All right. The whole time you were introducing the lesbian, I thought you were talking about me, so I got confused. Hey, Justin Skakirka or whatever the fuck your name is, way to go on paying your 4-year-old cousin to make your fucking comedy posters. Nobody likes that shit, okay? Someone needs to show you Photoshop. Please, Justin O'Leary, please do that man a favor. Thank you. Seriously, god damn it. Nick Tenaglia, or whatever the fuck your long-haired Pocahontas name is, okay? Can we please stop knowing every lyric to every Disney song, all right? Most pedophiles don't even know those many lyrics. Thank you very much. Oh, I see you laughing over there, Jason Spitzenberg, okay? Maybe you can't get a date because every Friday night you're, I don't know, at the Cabbage Patch Saloon. Real cool. Is that on your Tinder profile? Why don't you get a fucking life? Thank you. Connor Mead, you're like the sister no, I'm sorry. You're like the brother I never had, honey, okay? Oh, Jason Gilleron, everyone wants to talk about how you touch cock and balls, but you know what? Let me take one for the team and say what everyone else is thinking. I want to motorboat your wife. You're welcome. Nick Kelly, let's just stop with the fake New Yorker Italian accent. Okay, just stop. You're not Pete Davidson, and we don't need another Pete Davidson, okay? Dustin Burwell, are you here? Dustin? No? All right, well, good, because I just want to thank you for putting me on that comedy show of yours that was in the middle of a Michigan State playoff game. Way to go, promoter. Way to check your fucking calendar. Really appreciate it. Okay, who else do I got? Mark Sweetman, you're like the Santa Claus of comedy, white beard, so giving, and you know what? I wish you'd only come around once a year, seriously. My favorite, Brett Hayden. Steve Hansen, you skinny son of a bitch. What happened to you? Ellie Schneider, I heard you're engaged. Congrats. You know, he's only marrying you so you don't leave him for comedy. Sorry, not sorry. It's true. It's true. Because you've got 2 options, marriage or comedy, bitch. You'll learn. You'll be divorced in 6 years. Okay. And last but not least, you can mute me at any time. Last but not least, the man of the hour, happy birthday, Rob Schneider. Yeah, Rob Schneider has been practicing social distance his whole life, right? He's always standing 6 feet away from people and promptly telling them, I don't hug, when they go in for a hug, you know? He was even socially distancing as a fetus. That's right, his umbilical cord was dangling 6 feet outside of his mother's uterus. Even she couldn't bear the thought of being that close to Rob. I don't blame her. Rob often jokes that he wears a yarmulke on his head, and that's why he's gone bald. But we all know that he wears a yarmulke over his other head, you know, to shamefully hide how small it is. Rob, you were recently laid off and the irony is that your job was writing content. Well, let's hope that the comedy community lays your ass off too. Get a fucking hit. In all honesty, I miss the hell out of you guys. And this was a lot of fun, and thanks for making it happen, Rob. And happy birthday, motherfuckers.
Oh, all right, one more time, Characterazzi, how about it? Coming to the stage, I'm pretty sure this is one of Carl Malone's illegitimate kids. Welcome to the stage, E.J. Watson.
Yeah. What up? What up? What up?
What up?
We're gonna get right to it. Nick Pizzuti, thanks for hosting all of this. You know what I'm saying? You're the biggest waste of white good looks, bro. You just know how your ass is hosting this shit. You should be doing Gillette Fusion commercials, but here we are. All right. Let's see, another Nick. We got Nick Tenaglia looking like bitch Hedberg. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch Hedberg.
Nick looked like Jesus. Nick looked like Jesus' fucked up older brother, the one that wouldn't move out the house. Ellie Snyder's here. Everybody, hi. Ellie Snyder looks like the world's smartest cigarette butt. You look like you look like the if Ellie Snyder was a sex doll, you'd be the store brand version. You'd be the great value sex doll. All right. You're the Times New Roman of women. All right. Who else we got? Kevin Key is here, everybody. Glad Kevin Key's funny as shit, man. I love him. But I've seen more gang signs in your teeth than the neighborhood I grew up in. All right. It's like it's like your mouth is so off center you think it's supposed to be another one there, you know? It's like your mouth looked like a broken headlight, you know? It's all right. Bill Morrison. I was actually just a few minutes ago staring at your video trying to roast you, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't Robert. And then let's see. Mark Sweetman. I don't know if you're still here. I don't know if y'all know about Mark Sweetman, but he got all those black kids, and I don't know if y'all heard, but you got a lot of apologizing to do to them motherfuckers this week. I don't know how awkward it is in the household, man, but it's also hilarious. All right, and then to Schneider, we're down to Schneider.
thank you for putting this on, man. Happy birthday. Glad to be here. You look like Jason Brent's evil twin, but Jason Brent is also evil. Like if you looked up a picture of Nate Dogg and then Googled the complete opposite, you get Robert. Like you look like the Michelin man that gave up on his dreams too early. You dreamed of being a spokesperson for tires. Now you work for Quicken Loans. And then oh, another thing is this whole setup, this whole Zoom shit shows me that Robert Schneider needs more black friends. And you and Schneider, you are the only persons ahead who came with a moon roof, and that is everything I got, y'all. Thank you.
Moon.
Happy birthday, Rob.
All right, EJ Watson, how about? Okay, I fucked up the order, and then I don't see either Justin. Is Justin here?
No, he isn't able to make it.
And then I don't see Steve either.
Who? Oh,
Davini.
yeah, forget him.
Get you.
Ouch.
Roasted.
Is he here?
No, he's not here.
Oh,
This is
he's
the
not
last
here.
birthday party they're ever invited to.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so then all right. I guess we're closing it out then. Here with the I guess the reason Rob's now our problem. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stage, Matt Keck.
Yeah, what's up? Hey, a bunch of people I don't know. How's it going? First, sorry that Robert does comedy now. That is kind of my fault. My bad. Anywho, to the jokes. We're gathered here today because after 9 weeks stuck in the house, Robert's found the only time where there is literally nothing better for us to do. So, in honor of his 62nd birthday, Robert, you have the charm and sex appeal of a life-sized garbage pail kid. This is the first time Robert has talked to someone over a video call without tipping them for wriggling their toes at the camera. A date with Robert is like an old school horror movie where you're just waiting to see the creature the entire time, and then when you finally do, you either scream and run away or close your eyes until it's finally over. I thought about setting Robert up with one of my blind friends, but then I remembered the smell. Robert looks like the character they drew when they needed someone for the Simpsons comic book guy to beat up. Robert looks like the character Melissa McCarthy would play in a straight-to-Netflix Adam Sandler movie. Robert, you look like if a 24-minute Star Wars theory video on YouTube turned into a person. When Robert first told me he did CrossFit, I laughed harder than I ever have at any joke he's ever told. I assumed he thought CrossFit was a type of muffin, which, to be honest, you can't blame me. He's shaped like a Far Side character. The man has the body of a mayonnaise packet. Robert started doing CrossFit so he could look like Hulk Hogan, but he ended up just stopping with the hair. Robert's head looks like the flaccid dick from a 70s porno. Robert's head also looks like his own erect dick at this very moment. Robert's head looks like somebody shaved a wart. I'd like to take this time to thank all of the people I always have to follow at open mic to bring the room back around. This gathering is kind of like a really sad Manhattan Project where none of you are geniuses and you only bomb on stage. Robert Schneider is what happens when you microwave a Slim Jim. Robert's stand-up routine is like watching a train wreck where the train has Asperger's. Every stand-up has a style, and Robert went with the shy third grader giving his oral report in front of the class for the first time. I don't know why I ended with this next joke. It's not anywhere close to the best one, but Robert is so unoriginal, he couldn't even become unemployed until 40 million other people started doing it. All right, Robert, this was actually really fun, and I'm glad you invited me to do it. And you're the best, and maybe we'll see each other one of these days.
Definitely.
All right, give it up one more time for Matt Keck. And I think it's time for our rebuttal from the man of the hour for his 27th birthday. Look like shit. Rob Schneider, let's hear from you, buddy.
Thank you, Nick. First of all, Nick Pizzuti, you look like the guy in every mobster movie who's the first to die. Nicholas Tenegula, I am not only your brother's favorite comic, but I am your mother's favorite stepson.
What?
Think about that one for a second. Jason Spitzbergen used to date another comic, but he broke up with her because she got more laughs than him, except in the bedroom.
Accurate.
All right, Nick Kelly lives in his mom's basement. Man, you should be the guy actually running a comedy show in a comic book store. Jason Gillard went to med school just to be able to tell dick jokes. Man, you should really ask for a refund. Oh man, Jeremy Smith, it's really good to see you. I've really missed you not seeing you over these last 2 years, and I'm really happy to say there is a lot more of you to see now. You might not know this about Matt Keck, but he is a social media manager for one of the biggest fast food chains in the world. He also takes it upon himself to eat everything on the menu. Oh man, E.J. Watson used to be a rapper and a producer, but decided to move over to comedy. Man, first rule of business, you should always transition to a career that makes you more money, not less. Connor Mead revealed on Facebook last week that she is a big fan of the band Korn. The only thing that could make that worse is if she liked Nickelback and Creed.
Maybe I do.
Right now, Justin O'Leary looks like he's going through a divorce. With that mustache, you now have an order to keep God, I can't read it. To stay 500 feet away from your own kids. Ellie Schneider recently got engaged. Ellie, congratulations.
Nice.
Those hypnotism classes finally paid off.
You got me.
Ellie, what does Ryan think that he has to play second fiddle to your true love, possums?
I mean, you know, he accepts it. They were here first.
Cool. I'm so glad Steve Hansen and Mark Sweetman are on tonight's show, because if they weren't, I would be the oldest person on here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end with this. Thank you guys all so much for doing this. I really can't wait to see you again so I can kick all of your asses for everything that you said tonight.
Thanks, Rob.
Had a good time.
Happy
Birthday,
Rob.
How old are
Hey,
you?
happy birthday,
Number. What's the number?
Wash our hands to the happy birthday song.
Spank yourself. How many years old you are.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday. Are you 70?
I am.
Do they do?
But thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
That's awesome.
Love you.
Good to see everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Good to see everybody.
Encore.
Fuck no.
No.
See you later, little tomatoes.